Wednesday to Waynesville. Gene Johans indicates the group takes the program to the Waynesville Methodist Church on Wednesday from 1:30 to 3, where the Illinois Attorney General's office will present on scam awareness.
Well, TRIAD is an organization that started mostly by sheriff's departments. They get the ball rolling and they bring together seniors and any agencies that work with seniors to help make sure that seniors are getting the best information and keeping themselves safe. It started nationally in about the late 80s. And so then we were able to start one here in the early 2000s. And Sheriff Schaffner, way back there, was very instrumental in getting us going and starting. I remember our first meetings were always at the sheriff's department. But you think about a stool, and you think about a stool might have 3 legs. If one of those legs is missing, the program is not going to work. So you have the sheriffs, you have law enforcement, the police department, you have the seniors themselves. And then you have the agencies that work with seniors. So here we had, the AAA, we had, all of the different agencies, RSVP, we had domestic violence, we had all the different agencies that work with seniors. And then we had a very large contingency of seniors who also were there to make sure that their needs were met. And that was one of, if you don't know what the seniors need, you can't assume that you do know. And so, we started out with asking a lot of questions, what do seniors need? What are some of the, and we knew nationally what some of the things they were having to deal with, some like identity theft and burglary and, safe driving and different things like that. We then looked at how can we help the most. And so the Senior Academy was born out of that.
Sylvia Comfort with DeWitt County Triad indicates the organization was created by the Sheriff's Department wanting to partner with senior support organizations to make sure their local seniors could receive the safety training they need. She notes it started in the 80s, however, came to DeWitt County in the early 2000s.
And then from there, we moved to Waynesville on the 15th of October, which is also a Wednesday, same time, 1:30 to 3. And here we're going to have an Illinois Attorney General office come up from Springfield and present a scam awareness. We seem to be hitting that pretty hard, but as Sylvia alluded, and for real, it's happening a lot. So the more information we can get out, the better we feel about it. Okay, so that's the Attorney General will speak first, and then the Veterans Affairs Office will also be coming, and they're going to talk about the benefits for seniors. I think the veterans is one organization or a group we would like to get more involved with TRIAD, maybe have some representation and come to our meetings. So that's kind of a focus for us right now. And then in Waynesville, it's at the Methodist Church. And our great member, Sherry Ross, is going to do the refreshments for us, and we will also have door prizes there.
For the last session, Johan says they'll shift to Farmer City Outreach on October 22nd to hear about how technology can be used to maintain independence. Seniors can also hear about recognizing the signs of financial abuse at that event.
Last but not least, on October 22nd, we'll meet at the Farmer City Outreach, and that's right across from the Dollar General on Route 54. For those that don't know where that's located, 1:30 to 3 again. That program, the first one, will be using technology to stay independent. I saw this presentation, I believe, a year ago and was flabbergasted at the things and the items and the tools and techniques that they can come up with to help seeing and hearing, and they use a 3D printer to make an artificial arm even. I mean, they have wheelchairs and walkers that you can just have. I mean, they provide a lot of things for seniors. They tell you how to make a smart house with things that turn off and on if you can't really turn a light bulb button or a switch. And, it's just amazing. So to me, this is really exciting. Lynette Strode will be doing that program. She'll be coming up from Springfield. And then we'll have Charlie Stobaugh from CHELP here in Clinton. He's Adult Protective Services. And he's going to talk about recognizing the signs of financial exploitation. And we've talked about scams, we've talked about elder abuse and all that, but financial exploitation is a big deal too. Most of it occurs, or some of it, with a family member, somebody that's maybe coming into the house, has access to checkbooks or credit card, debit card, and that kind of thing. So Charlie's going to update us on that at the Farmer City on October 22nd. Our member, Linda Wilson, will be doing the snacks. And once again, we'll have door prizes.
Johansson Comfort emphasized the Senior Academy program can provide crucial information to seniors. Learn more about the DeWitt County Triad by visiting their Facebook page or call the Sheriff's Office at 217-935-9507. While it won't rise to the level of the start of the month, the next week or so should be a little warmer than normal. Ed Shimon at the National Weather Service in Lincoln indicates an above normal trend is going to last for the week this week.
Our 8 to 14 day or 6 to 10 day, which goes all the way to the 18th, much above normal temperatures expected again, near normal precipitation with a tip towards below normal. So, and then as we look even further into that 2-week outlook all the way to the 22nd, above normal temperatures are highly favored, and just near normal precip, which would be just around, we get around 1/10 of an inch of rain a day at this time of the year or so. So, in the 2-week time frame, maybe inch and a half of rain, but really not expecting that much. So we'll have to see. I think the 18th or 19th I see in the models some kind of a heavier rain hitting. Finally, that would be our big day of really some moisture hitting the ground. Yeah, it looks like that's Sunday the 19th. There's a low pressure system tracking right across Illinois, and that looks actually pretty decent for an inch in a widespread area. So, but it's going to take a while. That's a while away. Before that, not much at all until that weekend.
According to Shimon, today should be the warmest of the day of the week with more above normal temperatures the remainder of the week.
Sure, the Columbus Day holiday looks to be our warmest day actually of the next week or so, up to 79, maybe near 80. Really nice day, sunny. But otherwise, yeah, like Columbus Day, almost near 80, sunny. The next day, sunny at 78. Wednesday, sunny at 76. It's a kind of a broken record the rest of those days. And
Shimon reminds temperatures for this time of the month during the day hover in the mid-60s.
Right now, we're in the upper 60s for normal highs. So, and then the lows are in the mid-40s, low to mid-40s. If you hit 70s, you're above normal now for highs. And the further above 70 you get, then by the end of the month, our normal high is 59. And this outlook went to the 22nd, which is the normal high of 63. Upper 60s, around 70 is 6 to 7 above normal, which is a lot. When you get into the fall, it doesn't feel warm, but above normal now at this time of year is really comfortable. It's not like, holy cow, it's hot out here, I got to change my plans. Above normal this time of year is just a real comfortable fall day.
It remains very dry in central Illinois. Shimon breaks down the drought conditions setting up in central Illinois later this week. In the meantime, visit weather.gov/Lincoln for more things, weather, and information. We come up on 20 minutes after the hour here on this Monday. A break, more to come on the WHOW Morning Show.
Closeout time is here for a new Chevrolet. This is Scott Baum from Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton and Farmer City. Yes, we have a good selection of 25 Silverados remaining in regular and crew cab models with gas or diesel engines. Some with utility beds and dual roof wheels. Also see our remaining Colorados, Trailblazers, even our full-size Suburban and Tahoes, all priced to move out. See our 25 inventory today at BaumChevyBuick.com, right from the start.
Experience the power of better connection with Connexus Fiber Internet. Connexus delivers ultra-fast, reliable speeds to keep you connected at the speed of life. Whether you're working from home, streaming your favorite shows, or gaming with your friends, Connexus has you covered. Say goodbye to buffering and dropped calls and say hello to fiber fast internet. Ready to upgrade your connection? Sign up today by clicking the Connexus icon at DeWittDailyNews.com. Nothing connects us like Connexus.
It's 20 minutes after 8 o'clock on this Monday. I'm Seth Lawrence as we continue on with this expanded local newscast. Another class has been seated for the Illinois Ag Leadership Foundation. They'll graduate from the program in 2027. Among the fellows is Andy Vigna.
I grew up on a farm outside of DeWitt, Illinois. Been around agriculture really all my life. Really enjoy it. Went off to Purdue to study ag, and then got married to my wife, and that took us on an ag journey across several states, including Hawaii, Missouri, Indiana, and now back to Illinois, which we're really happy to be back to. So I worked for For Bear, I'm an account manager there. I've been there for about 13 years and really enjoy it there. I came to the program because I had heard about the program, but hadn't lived in Illinois until the last 4 years. So came to the program for several reasons. I had a few friends who had been through the program a few years ago, reached out and said, hey, I think this is something you'd really enjoy, something you ought to do. Started to look into it and looked at the opportunities and the exposure to new things I would get through the program and got really excited, applied, and I'm in the class for 2027. So really looking forward to that. Looking forward to meeting a lot of people in this group. So far, we've had a few sessions, as you mentioned with Jenna. We're early on. We're in our break right now, but the few online and in-person interactions we've had have been phenomenal. This is going to be an incredible group to be a part of, and I feel really fortunate to be a part of it.
The Illinois Ag Leadership Foundation was founded in the 1980s. Illinois Department of Transportation is announcing the largest multi-year program to build and repair infrastructure in the state's history, $50.6 billion over the next 6 years. The program, across all modes of transportation and touching every Illinois county, also includes $400 million to support 223 local projects, says IDOT's Paul Wappel.
Go to idot.illinois.gov, and click on the MYP, the fiscal year 2026 to 2031. It's a huge document. It lists every project that's coming up over this year, next year, the next 6 years in every district of the state of Illinois. It'll list the project, the cost of it. The timeline is in there for a lot of them. And it, like you said, we just announced it, and there's work going on in every county. But our website, it is a great place to look up projects that are going on in all 102 counties throughout the state of Illinois.
There is an interactive map at the IDOT website allowing users to search county-specific projects. For a fourth consecutive year, low water levels are a concern on the Mississippi and Ohio rivers. John Baronic is an ag meteorologist with DTN.
Yeah, unfortunately, that does seem to be the case. I mean, we built up drought across really both the Ohio and lower Mississippi basins here over the last, basically 2 months, month and a half. And it's going to take a while for that to kind of reverse itself. We're going to need a bunch of rain. We've gotten some, and we've had kind of minor bumps last week after some previous heavy rain down there. But I mean, it's just a minor bump upward, and then the trend downward happens again. So I mean, all this drought in years, and you're going to soak up all that rainfall and not really bring it to the river. So it's going to be a while until we can do that. I guess fortunately, the coming La Nina has the potential here to increase the storm track right through the region and help out with some above normal precipitation. We're forecasting that, but that's not until this winter. So we've got a couple of months yet where I think we're going to be in trouble with those water levels on the Mississippi and Ohio rivers.
Critically low levels on the Mississippi and Ohio rivers can force shippers to light load grain barges, impacting the cost of moving grain down the river. News time 24 minutes after 8 o'clock, or 7 o'clock rather, here on this Monday. Coming up still this morning, we take a look at more of those harvest reports as we hear from producers across central Illinois getting into the fields for this fall harvest season. A look at sports follows our harvest reports and much more still to come here on the WHOW Morning Show, streaming live online all the time at DeWittDailyNews.com. Network news comes up next on the WHOW Morning Show.
In today's digital world, one medium stands out for reaching America's farmers and ranchers: Ag Radio. Farm broadcasters connect agricultural advertisers with the most trusted voices in rural America. While farmers may scroll past online ads or skip television commercials, they actively listen to farm broadcasters for weather updates, market reports, and agricultural news that impacts their livelihood. Ag Radio reaches farmers where they work, in combines, tractors, barns, and trucks across rural America. These aren't just radio personalities. They're trusted advisors who've built relationships with agricultural communities for generations. Data from the National Association of Farm Broadcasting shows that 80% of farmers rely on Ag Radio as a primary information source during planting and harvest seasons, exactly when your agricultural product or service needs to be top of mind. Ready to put the power of farm broadcasting to work for your brand? Visit IllinoisFarmRadio.com and connect with the voices that farmers trust most.
This is Seth Lawrence, News and Program Director for WHOW and WEZC. We take pride in being Clinton and Central Illinois' local radio stations each and every day, 7 days a week. What does local news mean? Here's a sample.
Yesterday's count estimate 58,780. Today's 38,160. That gives us a grand total for the 2-day attendance of the festival, 96,940.
Student council decided that this year's theme was going to end up being Harry Potter.
We have these outages, and we make billions of dollars of investments in these outages to make sure that the plants can be producing.
You hear the local people that make the news every day, 7 days a week on the big 1520 AM, 92.3 FM, and 106.5 FM WHOW, and on your easy choice for soft hits, 95.9 FM WEZC.
Hear Clinton Maroon live play-by-play this season on WHOW, the big 1520 daytime, 92.3 FM in DeWitt County and 106.5 in Bloomington Normal all the time. Plus streamed at DeWittDailyNews.com, on the WHOW mobile app and Amazon Alexa. Plus hear a best of Clinton sports broadcast Saturday mornings at 10. All brought to you by Camille Tedrick of Remax Choice, the 217 home team in Clinton.
Central Illinois' most listened to agricultural radio station, WHOW, provides the latest farm news online. By directing your browser to IllinoisFarmRadio.com on your favorite electronic device, you'll find the guest list for this week's WHOW morning and noon farm shows, the latest commodity prices, and farm news from the USDA, Illinois Department of Ag, Illinois Farm Bureau, and more. Bookmark this URL on your favorite device, IllinoisFarmRadio.com, IllinoisFarmRadio.com, and be in the know.
AgriTalk is the radio talk show for American agriculture. Hi, everybody. I'm Chip Flory, your host. We join you weekday mornings from 10 until 11 on WHOW, on AM and FM, and on the